Imagine you spend your entire life in front of a large mirror, fighting the reflection you see. You yell at it to smile when you feel sad. You beg it to look prosperous when you feel scarcity. You try, with a cloth, to wipe a spot from its surface, without realizing the spot is on your own face. Exhausted from a fight you can never win, you end up blaming the mirror, believing it's broken or conspiring against you. Most of us live exactly this way. We fight against our external reality, our lack of money, our conflicting relationships, our poor health. We try to force circumstances to change, people to be different, believing the source of our problems is out there, and we exhaust ourselves in the process. This audiobook is based on a single liberating revelation, a law as simple as it is profound. It is the hidden law that creates your reality. It is the law of reflection. The law states that your external world is an impeccable mirror of your inner world. You don't attract what you want. You reflect what you are. Every person, every circumstance, every joy, and every challenge is a direct reflection of the thoughts, beliefs, and feelings you hold in the depths of your being. Life is not happening to you. Life is responding to you. This is not a journey to learn how to clean or manipulate the mirror. That is the path of endless struggle. This is a journey to turn around, to stop looking at the reflection for a moment, and for the first time, to become the master of the original image. You will learn to uninstall the beliefs that project images of scarcity and fear, and to deliberately install those that reflect the abundance, love, and peace that rightfully belong to you. You will discover that the key to changing your world is not out there. It has always been in your hands. The mirror waits. Your true face is ready to be revealed. It's time to start transforming the reflection. Chapter 1. The Silent Projector, the mind that films your reality. Your life, as you experience it, is a movie. An immersive, multi-sensory film projected onto the vast screen of existence, and you are, without a doubt, the protagonist. You live every scene, feel every emotion, and face every challenge, believing you are an actor following a script written by an invisible director called destiny, chance, or luck. You react to the plot and hope that the next act of your life is better than the last. But the first forbidden truth you must assimilate, the first secret that returns your power, is this: there is no external director. There is no cosmic screenwriter deciding your fate. You are at once the protagonist, the screenwriter, and the director. And your mind is the camera, the editing studio, and most importantly, the silent projector that emits the film. This is the essence of the law of reflection. The world is not the cause of your film. The world is the screen where your film is projected. To change what you see on the screen, it is useless to shout at it or try to paint over it. You must enter the projection room and change the film you are emitting. To do this, we must first understand the machinery. Just as in a movie theater, two distinct but interconnected components operate in your mind: the director in their editing room and the projector in the booth. The director, your conscious mind. Your conscious mind is the director. It's the part of you that thinks, that chooses, that has ideas. It is the you know, the voice that is listening to these words. The director has several crucial functions in the process of creating your film. Chooses the script. The director has the power of choice. They can look at different ideas, scripts, and decide which one to produce. They can accept a script based on fear and limitation, or choose a script of success and fulfillment. Directs the camera, attention. The director decides where to point the camera. Your attention is that camera. By choosing where to focus your attention, you decide which scenes will be part of your film. If you constantly focus on problems, on injustices, that will be your raw material. Edits the scenes. The director sits in the editing room, your logical mind, and puts the scenes together to create a narrative. They build the story of your life by interpreting events and giving them meaning. Adds the soundtrack, emotion. A director knows that music gives a scene its emotional power. Your conscious mind, by adding emotion to a thought, is composing the soundtrack that will tell the audience, your subconscious, how to feel. But the director has limitations. They get tired, their attention is limited, and most importantly, no matter how brilliant the film they have edited in their mind is, They don't have the power to project it onto the big screen. For that, they depend on a much more powerful machine that works in the dark. The projector, your subconscious mind. Your subconscious mind is the projector. It is a machine of astonishing power and fidelity. It is located in the dark booth of your being, operating silently, 24 hours a day. And its nature is completely neutral and perfectly obedient. The projector does not judge the film the director gives it. It has no sense of humor, no sense of right or wrong. Its only function is to take the film it has been given and project it onto the screen of reality with impeccable clarity. If the director out of habit gives it a horror film full of images of fear and failure, the projector will emit it without hesitation. If the director gives it a romantic comedy, the projector will emit it with the same fidelity. If the director gives it an epic film of triumph and success, the projector will use all its power to make that story manifest on the screen of life. The projector is also the vast cinematic archive of your existence. Every film you have seen, every experience you have lived, is stored in its infinite memory. Often, if the director doesn't give it a new, conscious film, the projector will, by default, just replay the old films from the archive. In addition, the projector is in charge of all the special effects of your body. It manages your heart rate, your immune system, every biological function, without the director having to think about it. And most importantly, this projector is not powered by an ordinary bulb. Its light source is a direct connection to the energy of creation, with the infinite intelligence of the universe. That's why its power to project and manifest is literally unlimited. The projection process, how the reflection is created. The law of reflection manifests itself through a creative process that follows this sequence. 1. The director, conscious mind, has an idea or a thought, the script. They use their imagination to turn that script into a vivid scene, the storyboard. Dictate. They add emotion to that scene, the soundtrack. Through repetition and belief, this scene becomes the final cut. 5. This film is delivered to the projector, subconscious mind. 6. The projector emits the film with perfect energy and fidelity. 7. The screen, the external world, has no choice but to show the projected image. The reflection is perfect. The problem is that most of us are unconscious directors. We have allowed the scripts of our parents and our fears to become the only films in our cinema. We project them on autopilot, and then sit in our life's armchair as frustrated spectators, complaining about the film's poor quality, without realizing that we are the ones who put it in the projector. This understanding is the end of complaint and the beginning of power. If you don't like the movie you're watching, you don't have to break the screen. You have to go into the editing room and start creating a new film. Practice taking the director's chair. These exercises are designed for you to stop being a spectator and become the conscious director of your reality. Exercise 1. The inner film critic. The first step for a director is to view their own work honestly. For the next 3 days, become your own film critic. Observe the movie that is being projected in your reality. In your journal, write a critique. What is the main genre of your current film? A drama of constant struggle? A tragedy of victimhood? A comedy of errors? An anxiety thriller? What are the recurring themes? What is the dominant emotional soundtrack? Don't judge yourself. Just be an objective critic. This exercise will give you immense clarity about the story you have been unconsciously projecting. Exercise 2. The storyboard of the new film. Now let's start working on your new production. Choose one area of your life you want to change. Instead of thinking about all the problems, you are going to design a single, powerful final scene. A short scene that, if it happened, would mean you have achieved your goal. In your journal, create a storyboard for this scene. Scene title, e.g., the celebration of financial freedom. Visuals, what do you see? And what do you hear? Soundtrack, emotion. What is the main emotion you want to feel? This storyboard is your new blueprint. Exercise 3. The deliberate projection. A director doesn't just write the script, they obsess over it. They live it before they film it. Every night, just before falling asleep, enter your private projection room. Close your eyes and project your new final scene over and over. Don't watch it as a spectator. Feel it in the first person. Activate all your senses. Feel the emotion as if it were happening right now. Fall asleep with that feeling. You are delivering the finished film to the most powerful projector in the universe to manifest it. Your life is not a film that is happening to you. It is a film you are projecting. The world is your screen, and your mind is the projector. Stop being a passive spectator of an old horror film or a boring drama. Take the director's chair, choose a new script, and start projecting the masterpiece you came here to create. Chapter 2. The Light of the Projector, the Power of Belief. We must understand the nature of the light that emanates from your inner projector, the force that takes a simple image in your mind and turns it into the solid reality you experience. That light, the power behind the law of reflection, the engine of all manifestation, is the power of belief. We must be absolutely clear here, because this is the central piece of the puzzle. A belief is not a simple thought. A thought is a fleeting mental event, a quick frame that crosses the screen of your consciousness. You can have thousands of thoughts a day that have no significant creative power. A belief, on the other hand, is a thought that has been accepted as truth in the depths of your being. It is a thought you have thought so many times with such conviction and watered with so much emotion that it has stopped being an idea and has become a certainty. It is a deep groove in the fabric of your subconscious mind. A belief is not a single frame. It is the entire film that plays in a constant loop. Your subconscious mind, the projector, is perfectly obedient, but it does not respond to your momentary whims. It responds to your dominant convictions. Belief is the master command, the fundamental directive that your projector uses to interpret and organize reality. This power operates through two simultaneous and interconnected mechanisms: belief as a perceptual filter and belief as a vibrational magnet. Belief as a perceptual filter, the lens of your reality. Imagine that pure consciousness is a source of white light, containing all colors, all possibilities. Your belief system is the lens through which that light must pass before being projected onto the screen of the world. This lens is not a poetic metaphor. It is a description of how your brain neurologically functions. Your brain is bombarded every second by billions of bits of sensory information. To avoid collapse, it has a filtering system, the reticular activation system, that acts as a guardian at the door of your consciousness. This guardian decides what information is relevant and is allowed in, and what is noise and should be ignored. And the criterion it uses is very simple. It considers relevant that which corresponds to your most deeply held beliefs. If your lens is carved with the belief that opportunities are scarce, your brain's guardian becomes an expert at finding evidence to validate that belief. It will filter out dozens of opportunities that cross your path every day. A business opportunity could appear right in front of you, but your brain, programmed by your belief, will literally not register it as important. If your lens is carved with the belief that people are not to be trusted, your guardian will become a detector of micro-expressions of dishonesty. It will ignore 100 acts of kindness and focus with laser precision on the only inconsistency, to be able to tell you, "See, I was right." Conversely, if you consciously install a new lens, a new belief, such as, "The universe always supports me," your guardian receives a new order. It begins to scan the world for proof that confirms this new truth. Suddenly, you start to notice synchronicities and unexpected help. Those events were always there. What has changed is the lens through which you look at the world. You don't believe what you see what you believe. Belief as a vibrational magnet, the signature of your frequency. But a belief is much more than a passive filter. It is an active magnet. It is the central frequency that your inner radio station broadcasts to the universe. Every belief generates a corresponding emotional state. A belief in scarcity generates the emotion of fear. A belief in abundance generates the emotion of gratitude. This dominant emotional state is your vibrational signature. It is the music you emit to the quantum field. The universe, which is a field of resonance, does not respond to your words. It responds to your music. By the law of resonance, it must bring you circumstances and people that vibrate in harmony with your inner state. A belief of unworthiness emits a vibration that attracts situations that will make you feel unworthy. A belief of confidence emits a vibration that attracts situations that will allow you to demonstrate your competence. A belief that love is a battlefield attracts conflictive partners. A belief that love is a harmonious dance attracts partners who know how to dance. Your belief is a self-fulfilling prophecy. The mirror does not judge you. It simply reflects the vibration of the image you present to it. The genesis of the lens. Where do your beliefs come from? To be able to change a belief, you must first understand that it is not yours. You were not born with it. It was installed in you, like a software program. The greater part of our fundamental belief system is installed in childhood, between the ages of 0 and 7, when our brain operates in a hypnotic state without a critical filter. Inherited beliefs. You absorb them from your parents. Not just their words, but their emotional vibration about money, love, health. Created beliefs. They were forged from a highly emotional event. A humiliating failure at school may have installed the belief, I'm not smart. A painful betrayal may have installed the belief, I can't trust anyone. Adopted beliefs. You accepted them from culture, school, and the media. Beliefs about what your body should look like, what success means. Realizing that your most limiting beliefs are just secondhand software is the first step to uninstalling them. They are not your identity. They are just a program, and you are the programmer. Practice polishing and replacing lenses. Exercise 1, the lens diagnosis. This is an exercise in mental archaeology to find the root belief that is projecting your unwanted reality. Choose an area of your life, a reflection in the mirror you are not satisfied with. For example, I constantly struggle with debt. Now take your journal and work backward to find the lens. Ask yourself, for this to be my external reality, what must be the fundamental belief, the lens through which I am projecting? Follow the thread. To have debt, I must be spending more than I make. To spend more than I make, I must have a need for instant gratification. The lens could be the belief, I am not valuable enough on my own. Perform this diagnosis for your main challenge. Exposing the lens to the light of consciousness is the first step to cleaning it. Exercise 2, the deconstruction of belief. Now that you have identified a limiting lens, let's take away its power. Take the belief, I am not valuable enough, and ask yourself in your journal, origin. Where did this lens come from? Was it inherited? Was it created by a painful experience? Contrary evidence. Become a detective looking for evidence against it. Make a list of all the times in your life when you were valuable. Cost. What has been the cost of looking at the world through this lens? What opportunities has it stolen from you? This process depersonalizes the belief. It stops being a truth and becomes what it really is, a defective and costly old program. Exercise 3, the polishing of a new lens. This is the practice of installing a new belief. Step A, design. First, design your new lens. What is the opposite empowering belief? E.g., my value is intrinsic and inexhaustible. I am worthy of all abundance and joy. Step B, polishing. For the next 21 days, you are going to polish this new lens. Your daily ritual includes affirmation, repeat your new belief morning and night. Visualization. Dedicate 5 minutes to visualizing what the world would be like through this new lens. Embodiment. Throughout the day, act as if. Make small decisions as if you were the person living from this new truth. You are using repetition and emotion to engrave a new neural groove, to carve a new and powerful lens. Your beliefs are not a passive record of reality. They are the active light that creates it. You are the projectionist. And the quality of the film you see in the mirror of your life depends entirely on the clarity and power of the light you choose to project through the lens of your mind. Chapter 3. The natural state of life, redefining abundance. Before you take another step, pause. Feel that word in your body. Scarcity. Notice the subtle contraction and anxiety it evokes. This is the frequency that most of humanity has, unconsciously, chosen to live in. But I ask you, is this the truth of the universe? Or is it simply a program, a mental virus we have accepted without question? Let's look at the evidence. Go out into nature. Does a single oak tree know scarcity? No. It produces thousands of acorns each year, a profusion of life that far exceeds the needs of its own survival. Look at the sky on a clear night. Is it scarce? No. It contains billions of galaxies, each with billions of stars. The energy that our sun radiates in a single second could supply humanity's needs for 500,000 years. Nature, the universe, life itself, does not operate from scarcity. Its natural state is extravagant abundance. It is incessant creation, infinite expansion, a generosity so vast that our logical mind can barely comprehend it. If the natural state of the universe is abundance, where then does our deep-seated belief in scarcity come from? The answer is that scarcity is not a law of the cosmos. It is a program installed in the human mind. It is a lie we have learned to believe. The genesis of scarcity, how the program was written. To free ourselves from this program, we must first understand its origin. The first layer of this programming is evolutionary. Our primitive brain was forged in a world where scarcity was a tangible reality. The brain that survived was not the most optimistic, but the most worried, the one that was an expert at detecting dangers. This scarcity programming was a brilliant survival strategy. The problem is that this ancestral software is still running in our 21st century brain. We are still looking for tigers in the office and famine in the supermarket. The second layer is social and cultural. As societies became more complex, the idea of scarcity became a tool of control. Many religious and political structures throughout history have glorified poverty as a virtue and condemned wealth as a sin. They taught us to feel guilty for wanting more. This conditioning created a deep subconscious association between being good and being poor. The third layer is the modern economy. The engine of consumerism is not satisfaction, but dissatisfaction. Advertising is a multi-billion-dollar industry dedicated to reminding you, at every moment, of what you lack. It shows you an image of the perfect life, and then points out the gap between that image and your current reality. It has programmed us to live in a state of perpetual longing, always looking for the next thing that will finally make us feel complete. The result of these three layers of programming is poverty consciousness. It is not just a belief, it is an identity. It is a state of being that manifests in our internal dialogue and our actions, creating the very reality of scarcity that we fear. Redefining abundance from having to being. To uninstall this program, we must first radically redefine what abundance means. Poverty consciousness believes that abundance is a quantity of external things. Prosperity consciousness understands that true abundance is not something you have. It is a state that you are. It is the inner feeling of fullness, confidence, and flow regardless of external circumstances. Abundance is not a pond of stagnant water you try to fill and protect. It is a river. A river is abundant not for the amount of water it holds at any given moment, but for the constant flow that passes through it. The scarcity mindset tries to build a dam and hoard the water, terrified that the source will dry up. It lives in a state of contraction. The abundance mindset trusts in the river's inexhaustible source. This abundance is not limited to money. True abundance is holistic. It manifests in 4 dimensions. Abundance of time, the feeling of having more than enough time for what is truly important. Abundance of love and connection, the feeling of being surrounded by nurturing relationships. Abundance of vitality and energy, waking up feeling full of health and a desire to live. Abundance of creativity and ideas, feeling like an open channel for inspiration. Financial prosperity is often the natural result of cultivating these 4 dimensions. Practice cultivating an abundance consciousness. Exercise 1, the scarcity audit. The first step to changing a program is to become aware of it. For the next week, become a detective of your own poverty consciousness. Keep a journal. Note every time a thought, word, or action comes from a place of lack. Thoughts, I can't afford that, it's too expensive. Something will surely go wrong. Words, complaining about prices, participating in conversations about the economy. Actions, clinging to old possessions, feeling anxiety when paying a bill. Don't judge yourself, simply observe. This exercise will show you the frequency with which you are watering the seeds of scarcity. Exercise 2, the gratitude flood. Gratitude is the most powerful antidote to scarcity. It's the act of deliberately tuning your frequency to the abundance that already exists. The morning ritual. Upon waking, your first action will be an act of gratitude. Mentally name 10 specific things you are genuinely grateful for. Feel the emotion. The daily gratitude anchor. Choose a daily object or action as your anchor. Every time you touch it, use it as a reminder to feel a burst of gratitude for 5 seconds. This practice forces your brain to scan the world for evidence of the abundance that already surrounds you. Exercise 3. The deliberate act of generosity. The fastest way to feel that you have enough is to give. Generosity is the most potent vibrational declaration of abundance. Every day for the next week, perform a small, conscious act of generosity without expecting anything in return. It doesn't have to be money. It can be your time, your knowledge, or a sincere compliment. Each of these acts sends a thunderous message to your subconscious. I have so much that I can afford to give. I am a source, not a sink. You are acting as if you are already abundant, and your obedient mind will begin to adjust the reflection. Scarcity is the biggest lie you have been told. The universe is an infinite banquet, and you have been invited to a seat of honor at the table. Abundance is not something you should chase. It is your birthright waiting to be claimed the moment you stop believing in the lie of your own limitation. Change doesn't happen by getting more. It happens by being more. Chapter 4. The Power of Decree. The Art of Autosuggestion. At the heart of almost every great mystical and creation tradition in the world lies a profound truth. The universe was created through a sound, a vibration, a word. In the beginning was the Word, says the Gospel of John, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. The ancient Aramaic word abracadabra means, I create as I speak. These are not just poetic myths. They are instruction manuals for the physics of consciousness. They teach us that the word, language, is not a passive tool we use to describe a pre-existing reality. It is the active tool with which we create reality. Every word you utter, and more importantly, every word you repeat in the silence of your inner dialogue, is a decree. It is a spell. It is a vibration you send to the field of reality. A command that your subconscious mind, that faithful and obedient servant, rushes to accept and execute. Modern science is beginning to glimpse this ancient truth. Neuroscientists studying meditation have discovered that repeated words literally change the structure of the brain. Dr. Masaru Emoto's experiments, though controversial, offer a powerful metaphor. Your words are vibration, and vibration gives shape to matter. Autosuggestion, therefore, is not a simple exercise in superficial, positive thinking. It is the act of becoming a vibrational engineer. It is the science of deliberate hypnosis, the art of consciously choosing the commands you want to install in your subconscious mind's operating system. Anatomy of a failed decree. Why most affirmations don't work. Before we can build decrees that work, we must understand why most people's attempts fail. Millions of people repeat affirmations daily with few results, get frustrated, and conclude that this doesn't work. It's not that the law fails, it's that they are applying the law incorrectly. There are 5 fundamental errors that cancel out its power. The first sin, speaking from the future. This is the most common error. We formulate affirmations as future desires. I will be rich. I will be healthy. By doing this, we give a very precise order to our subconscious. Keep that desire in the future. The obedient mind ensures that the desire is always just over the horizon. The subconscious only operates in the eternal present. The second sin, focusing on the negative. The subconscious is a primordial symbolic mind. It doesn't process negatives well. If you say, I don't want to be anxious, the word and image your mind focuses on is anxious. You are reinforcing the state you wish to avoid. The third sin, the empty word. We repeat affirmations mechanically without feeling. A word without emotion is a dry seed thrown on concrete. It is an architectural blueprint without a builder. Your subconscious is the emotional mind. Feeling is the fuel that powers creation. A word without feeling is an order without energy. The fourth sin, the shout of doubt. You say, I am a money magnet, but a louder voice inside shouts, that's a lie. In this battle, the voice with more conviction wins. Saying an affirmation while you feel like a fraud is like planting a flower in a hurricane. The fifth sin, the vague plea. Our affirmations are often vague desires. I want to be happy. I want my life to be better. This is like giving a builder a blueprint that just says, build me a nice house. It's a useless order. The subconscious needs a clear and precise blueprint. The 7 pillars of a master decree. Now that we know the errors, we can build the correct method. A powerful affirmation, a true alchemical decree, is built on 7 pillars. Pillar 1, the present, I am, I have. Your decree must be a statement of a fact already accomplished. You are describing reality as it is now on the plane of consciousness. Pillar 2, the positive, focus on what you want. Formulate your decree in terms of what you want to create, not what you want to eliminate. Instead of, I am not sick, say, I am full of vibrant health. Pillar 3, the personal, the I. Your decree must be a statement about yourself. Always begin with I. I am, I have, I choose. You are reclaiming your power as the first person, the cause of your reality. Pillar 4, precision, clarity, and specificity. Be clear, but don't obsess over the how. Instead of, I want to win the lottery, a precise decree would be, I am so happy and grateful now that unexpected financial abundance has entered my life. Pillar 5, power, the emotional charge. This is the central pillar. You must generate the feeling of the wish fulfilled. Before you speak your decree, feel the emotion you would have if it were already true. Then, speak from that state. Pillar 6, persistence, conscious repetition. A decree becomes a belief through repetition. Persistence is the act of watering the seed daily, carving the new neural groove until it becomes the default root. Pillar 7, peace, release with faith. This is the pillar of the master. After speaking your decree with conviction, you must let it go. You must hand it over to the universe with a quiet faith. Anxiously clinging to the outcome is an act of doubt that cancels the order. Practice the forging of your new reality. Exercise 1, the decree workshop. This is a journaling exercise to transform limiting thoughts into powerful decrees. Step A, the complaint. Write down a recurring complaint from your inner critic. Step B, the deconstruction. Analyze the complaint. Is it negative? What tense is it in? Step C, the alchemical reconstruction. Now use the 7 pillars to rewrite it as a master decree. Personal, I. Positive and precise. Easily attract wonderful relationships into my life. Present, I attract. Emotional, add the feeling. I feel deep joy and connection. Exercise 2, the 30-day installation protocol. Consistency is the key to change. Commit to a 30-day protocol. Morning, 5 minutes. Mirror work. Look in the mirror and repeat your decree with conviction. During the day, microdoses, the anchor. Choose an anchor like drinking water. Each time you do it, mentally repeat your decree. It's a constant watering of your seed. Night, 10 minutes, the subconscious lullaby. In your drowsy state, repeat your decree until you fall asleep. Exercise 3, the I am meditation. This meditation connects you to the creative power behind any decree. Sit in silence. Simply repeat the 2 most powerful words, I am. Don't add anything after. Just rest in the pure consciousness of I am, the feeling of being, the presence that is the source of all that exists. This practice anchors you in your identity as a creator. Your word doesn't describe your world. It creates it. Every affirmation is an act of reality engineering. Every decree is a paintbrush with which you paint the canvas of your life. You are the programmer, and your conscious decrees are the new code that will, with persistence and faith, shape a universe that reflects your true magnificence. Chapter 5, the cinema of the soul, the visualization that manifests. Your subconscious mind thinks in images. It is its native language. If I say the word lemon, your conscious mind processes the sound. But your subconscious instantly evokes the image of a bright yellow lemon, recalls its texture, and likely triggers a physical reaction. Your salivary glands activate. The image and the physical experience are inseparable to the subconscious. A single image can contain the equivalent of 1,000 words of information and emotion. For this reason, disciplined imagination, the act of deliberately creating images in your mind, is the most potent tool you possess for subconscious reprogramming. We have mistakenly downgraded imagination, relegating it to children. But imagination is not an escapist fantasy. It is the most powerful creative faculty you possess. It is your brain's reality simulator. Every great human achievement first existed as a vision in someone's imagination. Imagination is not an escape from reality. It is the workshop where reality is forged. The problem is we all use this power, but most of us use it unconsciously and destructively. Worry is the undisciplined use of imagination. It is the act of using your mental workshop to build vivid simulations of the futures you most fear. You are a first-rate horror film director, and your subconscious, the perfect actor, obeys the script, generating the chemistry of fear in your body. Creative visualization is the act of taking control of the camera. It is choosing to stop being a default horror film director and becoming the visionary director of your life's masterpiece. It is the deliberate use of your inner cinema to project the reality you choose to experience. To do this masterfully, you must understand the laws that govern this workshop, the physics of the mental cinema. The first law: your subconscious is blind to reality. Your subconscious mind cannot distinguish between a real experience and one vividly, repeatedly, and emotionally imagined. To it, both are real. Scientific studies have shown this. Elite athletes who visualize perfect performance activate the same motor areas in their brain as if they were performing the activity physically. You are rehearsing your future. The second law: feeling is the seal of reality. A mental image, if it's emotionally neutral, is an unsigned blueprint. It is the feeling, the emotion, that acts as the seal that tells your subconscious, this is real. This is important. Build this. You can visualize $1 million, but if you do it from a feeling of lack, the dominant emotion overrules the image. The message received is desperation. The key is not just to see, but to feel the emotional signature of your wish fulfilled. The third law: focus on the what, the end, not the how, the process. The film director's job is to obsess over the final scene. They don't worry about the logistics of how the crew will get there. Similarly, your job is to define the final outcome, the what, with crystal clarity. The how is the work of your subconscious and the universe. When you obsess over the how, you're limiting the universe. Your only task is to hold the vision of the happy ending so real in your mind that the how is forced to appear. The art of the master director, creating your master film. Creating your mental movie is an art that requires precision and passion. Follow these 4 steps. Step 1, define the happy ending. Be specific. Condense your desire into a single brief scene, 10-20 seconds, that unequivocally implies its fulfillment. The scene must be personal and generate a strong positive emotional response. For example, seeing your doctor say, "It's a miracle, you're completely healthy." Or joyfully telling your partner, "We've paid off all our debts." Step 2, activate all senses. Once you have the scene, make it as real as possible for your subconscious. Close your eyes and immerse yourself in your movie. Involve all your senses. What colors do you see? What sounds do you hear? What do you feel on your skin? What do you smell? The more sensory details you can incorporate, the more real the experience will become for your subconscious mind. Step 3, feel the central emotion. This is the climax, the secret ingredient. While visualizing, identify the dominant emotion you would feel if it were real now. Is it gratitude, relief, freedom, peace, joy? Concentrate on it. Let it flood you. This emotion is the seal that tells your subconscious, this is real. This has already happened. Step 4, repeat the scene in a loop. Now that you have your emotionally charged film, your job is to project it. Repeat the brief scene in your mind, in a continuous loop. The goal is for the scene to become so familiar that it loses its fantasy quality and acquires the quality of a quiet, certain memory. Practice your private screening session. Exercise 1. The script for your film. Take your journal. Based on the 4 steps above, write the script for your mental movie. It doesn't have to be long. Desired title, e.g. financial freedom. The final scene, e.g. I'm sitting on my balcony looking at the sea. I check my bank app and see the balance that allows me to live without worries. I smile. Sensory details. List what you see, hear, feel, and smell. Central emotion. Define the core emotion. Having your script written down gives you immense clarity. Exercise 2. The nightly cinema ritual. The most powerful time to imprint the subconscious is just before you fall asleep. This is your time for your private screening session. Step A. Lie down comfortably. Enter that state of reverie. Step B. Project your mental movie. Charge the scene with all the sensory details and, above all, the central emotion. Step C. Repeat the scene in a loop, softly and effortlessly. Step D. The goal is to fall asleep while living and feeling your wish fulfilled. You are giving your subconscious a clear blueprint to work on all night, reconfiguring your beliefs and attracting the circumstances for its manifestation. Your imagination is not an escape from reality. It is the projector that illuminates it. It is the architect's tool. What you project with faith and feeling on the screen of your mind, your subconscious will accept as a command and build it, brick by brick, in the workshop of the world. Chapter 6. The Portals of Twilight. The Power of Sleep. Imagine you want a private audience with the king of a vast empire to present a project that will change the kingdom. During the day, the king is in his throne room, surrounded by advisors. This is the conscious king, your waking mind. If you try to approach, your message will be debated and rejected by skeptical counselors. Doubt, logic, fear, before it ever reaches the monarch's ears. But at night, the king retires to his private chambers. The court is silent. There is a brief magical moment, just before the king falls into a deep sleep, when his mind is tranquil, receptive, and alone. If you could whisper your message in his ear then, it would enter his consciousness directly without filters or resistance. This is the perfect metaphor for your mind. Twice every 24 hours, the gatekeeper, your conscious mind, lowers its guard. These are the golden moments for reprogramming, the direct portals to the throne room of your subconscious. These 2 moments are the drowsy states, the period just before you fall asleep, and the similar period just after you wake up. Dr. Joseph Murphy insisted that these moments are the most powerful for sowing the seeds of your desires. Why? Because in this state, known as alpha or theta brainwaves, your conscious mind's critical activity is at a minimum. The door between the conscious and subconscious opens wide. In this state of passive receptivity, your subconscious is extraordinarily suggestible. Ignoring the power of these moments is one of the biggest mistakes we make. We often do the opposite. Our last thought before sleep is usually a worry, and we fall asleep in a bath of negative emotions. Unknowingly, we're giving our subconscious a blueprint for more problems and anxiety to work on all night. Then we wonder why we wake up feeling tired and apprehensive. Similarly, the first thing many do upon waking is grab their phone. We flood our newly awakened mind with news and social media. We allow the chaos of the external world to dictate the day's first command, instead of consciously setting our reality's tone ourselves. Taking control of these 2 daily portals is an act of sovereignty over your own mind. The nightly programming techniques. Technique 1. The subconscious lullaby for affirmation. This is your main tool for programming with words. Reduce your desire to a single phrase and repeat it like a lullaby until you fall asleep. The key here is passivity. Choose your lullaby. Condense your fulfilled wish into a brief phrase like, "Thank you for my wealth." The phrase must feel good and resonate. The process. Once in that drowsy state, repeat your lullaby softly and calmly. Your goal is for this phrase to be the last conscious thought you have. You are delivering your order, and your crew will work all night to make it reality. Technique 2, the nightly cinema for visualization. If your mind responds better to images, this is your technique. It is the act of projecting your mental movie at the moment of maximum receptivity. Load your film. Be clear on your happy ending scene, a brief 10-second film that implies your desire as a fact. The process. In the drowsy state, project your movie. Don't just watch it, feel it. Immerse yourself in it with all your senses. Feel the central emotion of your wish fulfilled. Repeat the scene until it feels real and familiar. The goal is to fall asleep inside the scene. Technique 3, the nightly counsel for problem solving. Sometimes we need an answer to a complex problem. The subconscious is a source of creative intelligence. The process. In your drowsy state, present your problem to your subconscious as if speaking to a wise counselor. For example, infinite intelligence of my subconscious, you know the perfect solution. I hand this problem over to you now. I trust you to reveal the answer. The act of faith. After making the request, let it go. Go to sleep with the quiet confidence that a higher intelligence is working on it. The answer will often come unexpectedly upon waking or through a synchronicity. Practice your conscious sleep ritual. Exercise 1, the sleep sanctuary. Your bedroom isn't a second office. Create an environment that signals to your brain it's time to relax. The hour before rule. For the hour before bed, disconnect from screens. The blue light suppresses melatonin. Instead, read a book or listen to relaxing music. Total darkness. Make sure your room is as dark as possible. Darkness is the most powerful signal for your brain to initiate the sleep process. Exercise 2. Choose your nightly technique. Don't try all 3 techniques at once. Choose one that aligns with your main goal right now. Commit to using that single technique every night for at least 1 month. Exercise 3, the Dawn Journal. Place a notebook by your bed. The golden rule. Upon waking, before you move or touch your phone, be still. The reception. Pay attention to any ideas or images present in your mind. This is often your subconscious's response to your nightly request. The capture. Immediately write down anything that arises. The ideas in this state are often the most brilliant. Don't rely on your memory. Your day ends, but your mind never rests. Sleep is not a pause in creation. It's when the deepest work is done. By taking conscious control of the portals of sleep and waking, you stop being a part-time programmer. You become a 24-hour architect of reality, sculpting your destiny even while you sleep. Chapter 7. Gratitude as a Magnet, the Order that Seals Creation. In our culture, we have made a grave mistake with gratitude. We have reduced it to a simple formality. But true gratitude, the kind that has the power to bend reality, is not a reaction. It is a cause. It is a state of being. It is perhaps the highest, most coherent, and most magnetic vibrational frequency a human can emit. The law of the subconscious is clear. It manifests what we accept and feel as a present truth. And here lies the secret of gratitude. When do you feel genuine gratitude? After your wish has been fulfilled. Gratitude is the natural emotional signature of a wish already fulfilled. It is the irrefutable proof on a feeling level that creation is complete. Therefore, when you learn to feel gratitude before your desire manifests, you are performing the most powerful act of faith. You are sending your subconscious the clearest signal possible that your desired outcome is not something you hope for, but something that has already happened on the plane of consciousness. You are feeling the end, and your subconscious, receiving this powerful emotional imprint of a fait accompli, has no choice but to get to work to align your external reality with this internal truth. Gratitude, in this sense, completely transforms the energy of your intention. It takes you out of the vibration of supplication and places you in the vibration of reception. Supplication is the beggar's prayer. It says, "Please, please, give me this thing I don't have." It is born from a feeling of lack, and the order the subconscious receives is lack. Gratitude, on the other hand, is the prince's prayer. It says, "Thank you for this, which is already mine." It is born from a feeling of fullness and faith. The power of gratitude also has a deep neurobiological basis. When we cultivate gratitude, our brain releases dopamine and serotonin. It literally makes us feel good. It reduces the production of cortisol, the stress hormone, taking us out of fight or flight mode, the state of scarcity, and putting us into a rest and digest state, the state of receptivity and growth. A brain bathed in gratitude is a more creative and resilient brain. The first dimension, gratitude that heals the past. The first act of alchemical gratitude is to look back at our book of life and be grateful for not only the happy chapters, but also the dark and painful ones. This is a radical idea. Our natural tendency is to resent our wounds. But the alchemist understands that every experience was a lesson in disguise. Each failure was a master that taught you resilience. Gratitude for the past is not masochism. It is an act of reframing. It is the power to extract the gold of wisdom from the lead of suffering. When you can look at an old wound and say, "Thank you for the lesson," you perform a miracle. You release the toxic emotional burden of resentment and transform a memory that once weakened you into a source of power. By healing the vibration of your past, you stop projecting that pain onto your present. The second dimension, gratitude that anchors the present. This is the foundation of all practice. It is the art of finding abundance in the present moment exactly as it is. The untrained mind is an expert at ignoring what it has to obsess over what it lacks. The practice of gratitude for the present is the deliberate training to change this filter of perception. It forces your brain to scan the world for blessings. The secret is specificity and feeling. Don't just say, "I'm grateful for my house." Go further. Close your eyes and say, "I'm grateful for the warmth of my bed this morning, for the safety of this roof." Feel the gratitude in your heart. Don't say, "I'm grateful for my health." Say, "I'm grateful for the strength of my legs that allows me to walk." By practicing this, you are tuning your vibration to the frequency of abundance. You are telling your subconscious, "I live in a generous universe. I am ready to receive more." The third dimension, gratitude that creates the future. Once you have cultivated the muscle of gratitude for what you have, you are ready to take the quantum leap. You are ready to start using gratitude as the ultimate manifestation tool. This is the thankfulness technique Joseph Murphy spoke of. It consists of being thankful for your specific desire as if you have already received it. It is the act of living in the end with a quiet, thankful faith. When you worry, you are using your imagination to create a negative scenario. Gratitude for the future is the conscious use of the same faculty in the opposite direction. You create the scenario of your fulfilled desire and deliberately generate the emotion of gratitude you would feel if it were real. When you worry, you are using your imagination to. By doing this, you are creating a memory of the future in your subconscious. Your job is no longer to make it happen, but to allow circumstances to be attracted by the magnetic field of your thankful faith. Practice the manifesting gratitude ritual. Exercise 1. The 3-level gratitude journal. This is your daily training to become a master of gratitude. Morning, present level. Write 10 specific things you are grateful for right now. Feel the emotion as you write. During the day, past level. When you face a challenge, pause. Remember a past challenge you overcame and feel a wave of gratitude for the strength it forged in you. Night, future level. In your drowsy state, choose your main desire. In a prayer of thankfulness, thank the infinite intelligence because your desire is already a fact. For example, thank you for my perfect, radiant health. Fall asleep in that feeling. Exercise 2, the gratitude walk. This is a practice to embody gratitude in your body. Go for a 15-minute walk with no other purpose than to find things to be grateful for. With each step, name something. Thank you for the sun on my skin. Thank you for this body that allows me to walk. Turn your walk into a moving meditation, deliberately flooding your nervous system with the chemistry of gratitude. Exercise 3. Transmutation through thankfulness. This is an advanced technique for dealing with negative emotions. When you feel a contractive emotion, fear, anger, sadness, don't fight it. Pause. Acknowledge the emotion. And then, look for something, anything, within that situation for which you can be grateful. If you feel anger over a conflict, you can say, "I am grateful for this opportunity to practice patience and compassion." This act of seeking gold in the mud doesn't deny the negative emotion, but it introduces a higher vibration that begins to transmute it. Gratitude is the bridge between the dimension of idea and the dimension of form. It is the final seal you place on your command to the subconscious. It is the frequency that tells the universe not "I want," but "I am receiving." When your desire is preceded by a thank you, you stop being a beggar and become a co-creator who recognizes a truth about to manifest. Chapter 8, The Language of Wealth. The Word. As we saw, the word is not a simple sound, it is a decree. It is a vibration that shapes energy. It is a spell you cast into the field of reality, a command that your obedient mind and the universe hear and execute with relentless fidelity. And in no area is this law more evident and faster in its reflection than in the realm of wealth. Your current financial reality is a perfect and direct reflection of the language you habitually use when you think and talk about money. You have been describing your financial world, and in describing it, you have been creating it. You have been the prophet of your own economy, the enchantment of poverty, the vocabulary of scarcity. Before you can learn the language of wealth, you must first become aware of the enchantment of poverty, the vocabulary of scarcity that most of us have learned to speak with an unconscious fluency. These are not just phrases. They are programs that, by repeating them, reinforce a reality of lack. Let's examine some of the most common phrases of this limiting dialect. I can't afford it. This is a declaration of absolute powerlessness. It closes the door to all possibility. Your obedient mind stops looking for solutions. It accepts the limitation as a final sentence. Money is the root of all evil. If you subconsciously associate money with evil, how could you attract it? To maintain your identity as a good person, your subconscious will repel money. You have to work like a slave to make money. This decree merges prosperity with suffering. It installs the belief that wealth can only be obtained through exhaustion and loss of joy. There is never enough. This is the flagship phrase of the scarcity mindset. By living in this mantra, your filter is trained to see only lack. Some people are just lucky. When you attribute others' success to luck, you are declaring that prosperity is an external event outside your control. You are reinforcing your identity as someone who is at the mercy of chance. These phrases are the bricks with which we build our financial prison. They are the commands that our faithful servant has been executing for years. To free yourself, you don't have to fight reality. You have to change the language. You have to learn to speak the language of abundance. The 7 principles of prosperous language. The language of wealth is not a complicated dialect. It is based on a series of simple principles that, once integrated, change your vibration and, consequently, the reflection you see in your life. Principle 1. Speak from fullness, not from lack. The language of scarcity always comes from the feeling of needing something. The word need is a declaration of lack. The universe hears lack and gives you more of that experience. The language of abundance speaks from a place of choice. Instead of, I need more money, the decree is, I choose to create and receive more abundance in my life. Principle 2. Speak in the present as a done deal. The subconscious only understands the now. Speaking of prosperity in the future keeps it in the future. Instead of, someday I will be rich, the decree is, I am wealth, I am abundance. Prosperity is my natural state here and now. You speak of the end as if it has already happened, feeling the emotion of its fulfillment. Principle 3. Bless wealth wherever you see it. Envy and resentment toward others' success are pure poison for your own prosperity. The antidote is blessing. When you see a beautiful house, instead of feeling a pang of envy, pause, and from your heart, send a silent blessing. I wish them even more abundance. I bless their success. There is enough for everyone. This act aligns you with the energy of abundance. Principle 4. Speak of money as an ally, not an enemy. Many of us have a conflicted relationship with money. We see it as a source of stress and worry. The master of abundance changes this relationship. They personify money as an ally, a servant, a friend. Instead of saying, that damn money, say, money is my friend and partner. It works for and with me to create a life of freedom. Principle 5. Speak with gratitude for the flow. Poverty consciousness feels pain when paying. It feels like a loss. The consciousness of wealth understands that money is energy and must circulate. The act of paying is as important as receiving. The practice is to bless your bills. As you pay, say, I am grateful for this service and I bless this money. May it circulate and return to me multiplied. Principle 6. Speak with precision and power. Eliminate words of impotence from your vocabulary. Words like I'll try, I hope, maybe. Instead of I'll try to launch my business, declare, I choose to launch my business successfully. Your language must reflect a decision, not a vague desire. It must be the language of the captain, not the hopeful passenger. Principle 7, speak of value, not effort. The old programming says, I have to work hard. It's a language of sacrifice. The language of wealth says, I enjoy creating immense value. This shift in focus takes you out of a time for money mindset and into a value for money mindset. When you focus on creating massive value from a place of joy, abundance becomes the natural side effect. Practice, the Alchemical Linguists Workshop. Exercise 1, the Scarcity Vocabulary Audit. The first step to changing your language is to become aware of it. For the next week, become an auditor of your own speech, both internal and external. Your only mission is to catch and write down every time you use a phrase or a word based on scarcity. At the end of the week, you will have a complete diagnosis of your linguistic programming. Exercise 2, the Prosperity Glossary. Now let's rewrite your personal dictionary. Take each of the scarcity phrases you identified. Next to each one, using the 7 principles of prosperous language, write its replacement decree. Old phrase, I can't afford it. New decree, I choose to create the resources for this. Old phrase, money is so hard to come by. New decree, I am a money magnet. Create your own personal glossary and read it every morning. Exercise 3, the 30-day prosperous speech vow. This is an intensive challenge to forge a new habit. For the next 30 days, make a vow to consciously eliminate scarcity vocabulary. Write your vow in your journal and sign it. I, your name, commit for the next 30 days to speak and think only in terms of prosperity and possibility. I will be the guardian of my word. Place visual reminders around you. When you catch yourself using old language, don't judge. Simply smile, cancel the phrase, and replace it with your new decree. Your words are not air. They are matter in vibration. They are the bricks and mortar of your financial house. The world you experience is nothing more than the architecture of your habitual vocabulary. You have become a master linguist, an alchemist who knows that to change the reflection in the mirror, you must first change the word that describes it. You have learned to speak the language of wealth. Chapter 9, the Silent Obstacle. Overcoming fear and doubt. Accompanied by its trusted advisor, doubt-fear is the inner matrix agent that is activated most strongly when you are closest to freedom. Its function is simple and biological: to protect you, keep you safe, and return you to the predictable comfort of your comfort zone. For the alchemist, fear is not an enemy to be eradicated. It is the purest form of psychic energy. It is the dragon guarding the treasure. Running from the dragon is to give up the treasure. Fighting it head-on is to be consumed by its flames. The art of the master is to learn to dance with the dragon, to understand its language, and to use its immense fiery power to light your own path. To do this, we must first understand the true nature of fear. Most of the fear we experience is not the sharp instinctive fear that saves our lives from a real physical threat. That fear is an ally. The fear we are talking about here is psychological fear, anxiety, worry, doubt. This fear does not live in reality. It lives in only one place, in time. Psychological fear is always a projection of your mind onto a future that has not happened, based on a past wound that is not healed. It is, in essence, a destructive and uncontrolled use of your imagination. It is the act of using your inner cinema to write, direct, and project, in an endless loop, the movie of your own catastrophe. And your subconscious mind, that obedient servant, takes that horror film as a direct command. It accepts the script of failure as the blueprint for your reality and begins to build it, generating the chemistry of anxiety in your body, the anatomy of your fears, knowing the guardians. To disarm your guardians, you must first know their faces. Although fear feels like a monolithic emotion, it manifests through several masks. 1. The fear of failure. The root of this guardian is the fear of shame and judgment. It's the belief that our worth is tied to our performance. If our project fails, we have failed. To protect us from this pain, this guardian whispers the safest strategy: don't try. Its reflection in our lives is procrastination and paralysis. 2. The fear of success. This guardian is more subtle. What stops us is often not the fear of failing, but the terror of what will happen if we succeed. Success implies change, visibility, and responsibility. This fear whispers, what if I can't handle it? What if people treat me differently? What if I become someone I don't like? Its reflection is self-sabotage. 3. The fear of criticism and rejection. This guardian is the most tribal. It's born from our deepest need to belong. For our ancestral brain, rejection meant death. This fear makes us people pleasers, sacrificing our truth to fit in. Its reflection is a lack of authenticity and a life built on others' expectations. Chronic doubt, the intellectual fear. Doubt is fear in disguise. It's the voice of realism. It doesn't attack you with panic, but with seemingly impeccable logic. You don't have enough experience. The market is saturated. Doubt is the rational mind's attempt to get a 100% guarantee in an uncertain universe. Its reflection is analysis paralysis, the alchemical transmutation of fear. The secret to conquering fear is not to fight it. Fighting is an energy of fear itself. The secret is transmutation. It is the art of taking the raw energy of fear and, like an alchemist, transforming it into a higher vibration. Technique 1. The law of substitution, the triumph film. You can't just not think about something. You must replace it. You can't have two opposite thoughts in focus at once. When fear begins to project its horror movie, don't try to force it off. Just change the channel. With an act of will, withdraw your attention from the fear film and project your own film, the triumph film. This is not a vague hope. It is a multisensory simulation of the happy ending. If you fear public speaking, your triumph film is the sound of applause, the feeling of a congratulatory handshake, the emotion of pride and relief. By replaying this new film with intense emotion, you are giving your obedient mind a new script that will eventually become stronger and more automatic than the old one. Technique 2. Radical presence, the antidote to what if. Psychological fear cannot survive in the present moment. It lives exclusively in the future or the past. Its fuel is the question, what if? The antidote is radical presence. It is the act of pulling your consciousness out of mental time and anchoring it in the here and now. When you feel anxiety, stop. Bring your attention to your senses. Name 5 things you can see, 4 things you can feel, 3 things you can hear, 2 things you can smell, 1 thing you can taste. This is the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 technique. It forces your prefrontal cortex to activate and pulls you out of the amygdala hijack. In the simple reality of the now, you realize the tiger you imagined is not in the room. Technique 3. Action as an anxiolytic. Fear and inaction feed each other in a vicious cycle. The fastest way to break this cycle is with action, even the smallest and most imperfect. Action sends a powerful signal to your primitive brain, telling it, the threat is not as big as you thought. This allows your brain to turn off the alarm. Use the 2-minute rule. If you're afraid to start a project, commit to working on it for just 2 minutes. This simple act breaks the inertia of fear and often propels you into a state of flow. Technique 4, the Stoic reframe, amor fati. The ultimate fear is always of a negative outcome. The most advanced technique is to embrace the worst possible scenario. It's the Stoic practice of amor fati, the love of fate. Look your worst fear in the face and say yes. Instead of resisting the possibility of failure, you accept it. And then you go a step further. You look for the hidden gold in that scenario. What gift is hidden here? What would you learn about yourself? By making peace with the worst-case scenario, you strip it of its power to terrify you. Practice, the Brave Warrior's Workshop. Exercise 1, the Fear Inventory and Triumph Script. This exercise is for moving from awareness to creation. Step A, the inventory. Take your journal. List your 1 to 3 most recurring fears. Name each with as much specificity as possible. Step B, the script. For each fear, write the detailed script of its triumph film. Describe the happy ending, sensory elements, and the central emotion you want to feel. Step C. The Courage Decree. For each fear, write its antidote I am affirmation. Example, I am valuable, and my worth is independent of others' opinions. Exercise 2. The 30-Day Brave Action Challenge. Theory is useless without action. Choose a small but significant action that fear has been preventing you from taking. Your mission is to perform that action within the next 30 days. Use this period to prepare. Every night, project your triumph film. Every day, use the 2-minute rule to start. This challenge is not about a perfect outcome, it's about proving to yourself that you are bigger than your fear. Exercise 3. Fear as a compass. This is a reframing practice for the rest of your life. From today on, start using your fear as a compass. The thing you are most afraid to do is often the thing you most need to do for your growth. When you feel the vibration of fear, instead of interpreting it as a stop sign, interpret it as a green arrow pointing you toward your next level of expansion. Fear is no longer a wall, it is a door. Fear is not a real entity, it is a shadow. And a shadow, no matter how big, only has the power you give it with your attention. You are the director of your mind's cinema, and you have the sovereign power to turn off the horror movie and start projecting the magnificent epic of your own courage. Chapter 10. The Aligned Action. The Reflection in Movement. You have traveled to the depths of your being. You have cleansed the mirror of your mind of the poison of criticism, resentment, and guilt. You have learned to project a new image of prosperity, healing, and confidence, sealing your intentions with the vibration of gratitude. You have disarmed fear and doubt. Your inner world is now a place of power, peace, and clarity. But now we reach the final bridge. The bridge that connects the invisible world of your being with the visible world of your results. The bridge that transforms intention into manifestation. This bridge is action. This is where many seekers, even the most advanced, stumble. They stay on the shore of meditation and visualization, waiting for the universe to deliver their desires on a silver platter. And when they see no results, they get frustrated and abandon the path. They have misunderstood the nature of creation. Manifestation is not a passive process. It is a co-creation. It is a dance between your energy and the universe's. Your inner work aligns your vibration and opens the doors, but you must have the courage to walk through them. However, not all action is the same. Humanity is caught in two equally erroneous philosophies of action. The first is the fallacy of struggle. This is the belief of hustle culture, which dictates that success is only achieved through massive effort and sacrifice. This is action from the ego, the desperate attempt to force the reflection in the mirror to change with brute force. This path often leads to burnout and a deep sense of emptiness. It is action without alignment. The second is the fallacy of passivity. This is the spiritual fantasy that it is enough to vibrate high and sit back and wait. This is inaction from the spiritual ego, admiring the seed but refusing to get your hands dirty to water it or harvest the crop. True mastery lies in a third way, the path of the alchemist, aligned action. Aligned action or inspired action is not measured by the amount of effort but by the quality of its energy. It's not about how much you do, but where you do it from. It is action that arises naturally and effortlessly from a state of connection with your intuition and purpose. It is a movement that feels like a yes in every cell of your body. It is not a struggle against the current. It is the act of letting go of the oars and raising the sails so the universe's wind can propel you. The anatomy of aligned action. To become a master of this art, you must learn to recognize the qualities that distinguish aligned action from simple effort. 1. It is inspired, not forced. Forced action is born of shoulds. It feels heavy, like an obligation. Aligned action, in contrast, is born of inspiration. It is an impulse that emerges from within, often unexpectedly. It feels not like a have to, but a want to. Forced action depletes your energy. Inspired action generates it. 2. It is joyful, not sacrificial. Aligned action often feels like a game. It is the activity that puts you into a state of flow, where time disappears and you feel energized by the task itself. If your path to a goal constantly feels like a painful sacrifice, it's a sign you are fighting your own nature. Aligned action focuses not on the sacrifice it requires, but on the satisfaction it produces. 3. It is effective, not busy. Forced action often manifests as busyness, doing many things to create the illusion of productivity. It's the movement of the hamster on its wheel. Aligned action, in contrast, is effective. It follows the 80-20 principle. It is the ability to identify the 1 or 2 key actions that will produce 80% of the results. A master can achieve in 1 hour of inspired work what others take a week of scattered effort to do. 4. It is timely, not impatient. Forced action is born of the ego's impatience. It wants the result now. Aligned action, in contrast, has a sense of divine timing. The master knows when to act with explosive speed and when to wait with infinite patience. It is like the expert surfer. They don't try to catch every wave. They wait for the perfect wave, then paddle with full energy and ride it masterfully. Aligned action is the art of knowing when to paddle and when to wait. 5. It is detached, not needy. Forced action is always attached to a specific outcome. Its energy is one of need. I need this client to say yes. This energy of lack often repels the desired result. Aligned action is detached. You do it for the simple joy of the action itself, because it feels like the right expression of your being in that moment. You act from fullness, not from need, and you trust that the universe will handle the outcome. This energy of non-need is incredibly magnetic. The 4 types of aligned action. To apply this, you must understand that action doesn't always mean physical movement. There are 4 types of aligned action. 1. The action of preparation. Sometimes when you don't know what to do, the aligned action is to prepare. It's sharpening the axe before cutting the tree. It's the act of continuing to nurture your inner garden. This is an act of faith, a declaration to the universe that you know the opportunity is coming. 2. The action of listening. In our culture of action, we often forget that the most powerful action is sometimes conscious inaction. It is the art of creating an empty space, of being quiet and listening. If you feel confused, the aligned action may be to withdraw and meditate. It's waiting for the water to settle so you can see the bottom of the lake clearly. 3. The action of the smallest step. When you receive an intuitive impulse, your only task is to take the first step. The ego often paralyzes us with the enormity of the final goal. Aligned action is the art of breaking down the grandest vision into the smallest, simplest, and least intimidating step possible. This small act of physical movement breaks the inertia and proves to the universe that you are responding to its guidance. 4. The action of surrender. This is the most advanced form of action. It is the act of taking your inspired step and then completely letting go of control over the outcome. It is absolute trust in the law of reflection. You do your part, the inner work and the inspired action, and then you hand the creation over to the universe to do its part. You rest in the certainty that the seed you have planted will inevitably grow. Practice the reflection in motion. Exercise 1. The audit of struggle and flow. This exercise will give you immense clarity on where you are aligned and where you are not. Make a list of all your main tasks and projects. Now for each one, rate it on a scale from 5, feels like a heavy, forced struggle, to +5, feels like a light, joyful flow. Observe your list. Negative scores show where you're using willpower. High scores show where you are in a state of aligned action. Exercise 2, the inspired next step question. Replace your traditional to-do list with this practice. Every morning, instead of asking, "What do I have to do today?" sit in silence and ask your intuition, "What is the next inspired and joyful step I can take today to move in the direction of my highest vision?" The first idea that feels light and expansive is your aligned action for the day. Exercise 3, the 24-hour no-force challenge. This is a radical experiment to make you feel the difference between effort and struggle. For an entire day, make a vow to yourself not to use force. Don't force yourself to work on something you feel massive resistance to. Your only rule is to take actions that feel fluid, inspired, or at least neutral. You may produce less in quantity, but observe the quality of your energy. Observe the peace that arises when you stop being at war with yourself. The universe does not reward you for your suffering or your effort. It rewards you for your alignment. Aligned action is the final dance between the gardener and the garden. It is the moment when your inner world and your outer world merge into a single, harmonious movement. You are no longer trying to change the reflection. You have become the reflection in motion. You are the cause and the effect, the sower and the harvest, the dreamer and the dream. Our journey began in front of a mirror, with the frustrating feeling of being a victim of the reflection we saw. We started from struggle, from the effort to change an external world that seemed alien and often hostile. And throughout this path, we have made the only pilgrimage that matters, the journey back to the projection room. We have learned that we are not the reflection, but the projector. We discovered the dynamic between the conscious gardener and the obedient garden. We understood that belief is the light, and emotion is the color with which we paint our reality. We have reclaimed the Creator's tools, autosuggestion, visualization, gratitude, and, finally, aligned action. You have learned to uninstall the old programs of scarcity, illness, and fear, and to deliberately sow the seeds of the life you consciously choose. The greatest secret of the forbidden metaphysics, the hidden truth that has been veiled for centuries, is that there is no separation. The mirror and the face are one. The gardener and the garden are part of the same consciousness. The cause and effect are born from the same source. That source is you. You are not the reflection you see in the world. You are the light that projects it. You are not the harvest. You are the infinite intelligence of the garden. You are not a victim of life. You are the consciousness through which life expresses itself. Your journey does not end with these words. It is now that it truly begins. Your only practice from this moment on can be reduced to a single question you will ask yourself every time you look in the mirror of your circumstances. What image am I choosing to project now? Remember always, you don't have to change the world, you just have to change the movie. If this journey of revelation has resonated with you, and you want to continue exploring the hidden laws that create reality, we invite you to join our community. Subscribe to our channel, Path of Knowledge, for more transformative wisdom. Give this video a like as a declaration of your power as a creator. Share this hidden law with someone who is ready to stop fighting the mirror. Thank you for your time, for your courage, and for the brave decision to remember who you really are.